G'day, Rockhound here. Welcome to another episode of Mavericks News. Lots has happened in the last week with Mavericks Proving Grounds, with a flurry of new info about the game coming from the developers, as well as additions to the Mavericks website and the Mavericks Discord. Let's take a look at what's been going on. Firstly, the Mavericks website now has a community forum added to it, where you can discuss the game or just catch the current vibe of the community. If you purchased a Founders Pack, which is your key to gaining access to the closed beta that starts in late August, you will also gain access to an exclusive part of the forum for those members. Now, there's been plenty of posts in the forum already, so be sure to drop in and check it out. The Mavericks Discord has also had some updates, with Automaton enlisting new community managers to answer questions from the community, and from what I've seen, they're doing an awesome job so far. In addition, a new founders role has been established within the Discord, so if you've supported the game already, you'll stand out with a bright yellow founders display name. Now, the devs have been dropping into the Discord quite a bit in the last week, so here's a detailed rundown of the updates that they've provided. Firstly, Automaton are planning on replacing all of the player animations and adjusting the character proportions that we've seen so far from the pre-alpha gameplay. There's been quite a few negative comments about the early animations, and they definitely haven't looked like a finished product, so it's good to know that the devs are on the same page with that. The use of a recently acquired motion capture suit will help the animators to get all the player animations looking slick in time for the closed beta. The devs are also looking at the possibility of including dramatic melee executions, for instance being able to break another player's neck, or perhaps even garroting an opponent as we see here in the Battlefield 5 trailer. Although if they do add these, they'll need to make sure that performing the animation doesn't prevent you from being able to take evasive action if you suddenly start being fired upon from another player while you're smothering someone. They also made a point of letting us know that during the closed beta, they'll be taking on board as much community feedback about the game as possible and working with us to improve gameplay all the way through. So the closed beta won't just be for us to have early access to the game with the odd feedback opportunity, but instead it will see significant community-driven changes to gameplay on an ongoing basis. Now, the game at launch will also include voice over IP, however this won't be a priority during the closed and open betas, so we'll probably be using the likes of Discord for chatting with our squad mates. The devs also confirmed that the Battle Royale part of the game will have separate first-person and third-person perspectives, similar to PUBG. While it was mentioned previously that first-person and third-person would be in the game, it wasn't explicitly made clear that there would be separate modes for these, and I think quite a few people are relieved to hear that. Now, we've heard in previous updates that the game is going to include Battlefield-style building destruction, and the devs mentioned this week that the persistent MMO part of the game, which will be developed going into 2019, will have building destruction resets, so that buildings are automatically repaired either at a set time, like once a day, or maybe just when there's no one around on that particular part of the map. They also confirmed that the MMO part of the game will include up to 1,000 players on the map at a time, so expect there to be plenty of action when you wander out into the open world. You'll also be able to enter the MMO world with as many friends as you like, so expect to see a few groups roaming around together. Now, the MMO world will also have some sort of skill tree or advancement system, however this is still to be designed. In addition, the MMO part of the game may include smaller events, where you end up with a situation of 10 players versus 10 players with a reward for the victor, for instance. And these events might be quite spontaneous and occur on random parts of the Isle of Doorn. The social hub of Capital Island is going to include functioning TVs scattered around it, which will allow you to actually spectate Battle Royale games while you're in the social hub. Now, apparently at the E3 Expo, these in-game TVs were set up to play the game trailer over and over. I guess if they include the TVs in the final release of the game, they'll just need to make sure that you can't assist your friends who are in a Battle Royale game by providing them information that you see on the in-game TV. Something we're all keen to know is how you will be delivered into the playing area for a round of Battle Royale. and according to the devs this is still being worked on, but they've said there are a number of ideas that they're considering within the process. My initial guess was that this would be via drone, and I'm still favouring that over some sort of parachute drop. In addition, when someone commented in the Mavericks Discord that the first way they will probably die in the game will be via a faulty parachute, like they did in PUBG, one of the devs simply commented with the word parachute, implying that there won't be parachutes at all. This is also an element that was deliberately left ambiguous within the game's trailer. It looked like the player was opening the parachute, but we don't actually see what the mechanism was that he was activating. Now I'm intrigued to hear more info about how we'll enter the Mavericks Battle Royale sessions, and it sounds like it might be a unique system from anything else we've seen. We do know that drones will be involved in the MMO part of the game when it comes to extraction of items, and potentially you as a player, and I'll talk more about that later in this video. One last comment about that though, has anyone else noticed that the name Isle of Dern is an anagram for drone flies? Pure coincidence? Probably, but a curious coincidence nonetheless. Anyhow, crazy unfounded conspiracy theories aside, the devs have said that they want to try and eliminate bad spawns into the game by using intelligent item distribution. You'll also definitely be able to choose where you land, so there won't be an RNG element involved with your landing spot. And the devs have mentioned that in an ideal world, the game will have a pace that doesn't make people feel like they all need to rush to one location to have fun. So hopefully we won't have locations like the Hacienda on PUBG's Miramar map where every man and his dog turns up with half the players on the server dying in the first couple of minutes. The devs have also said that they're working on ways to combat players using foliage rendering settings to give them an unfair advantage in gameplay. In other words, if you choose to lower the foliage rendering distance in your PC settings in an effort to see players lying down on a hillside in the distance, as you can currently do in PUBG, then Mavericks probably won't let you see the player because they won't be rendered either. This has been a particularly annoying problem in PUBG, and I'm pleased to hear that they're planning on developing ways to counter it. Gunplay will be a big topic for conversation as we head into the closed beta, and the devs have confirmed that guns will have a consistent recoil pattern with a minor RNG element to it. Now this sounds like a pretty good sweet spot for the shooting experience, and it's sure to be one that will be tweaked as we go through the beta sessions. LMGs will also make an appearance in the game, and in addition, it was confirmed that there will be no tiered weapons in Mavericks, so you won't have a better gun just because you're more experienced or a higher ranking player. Armour within the game has been a bit of a question mark so far, although we have seen various images of different armour levels. What we didn't know though was whether the armour will be collected piecemeal, in other words you pick up armoured knee pads separately from the chest armour, or whether you pick up the entire set together. Now recently one of the devs commented that at the moment armour is collected by picking it up piecemeal. However, they did note that the character team are still looking into the details of the armour systems. A big topic of discussion on the Mavericks Discord, the subreddit, and within the forum has been whether the game will include a non-disclosure agreement associated with the closed betas. If there is, then we likely won't see any actual gameplay footage on YouTube or Twitch until the open beta in late October. An FAQ update on the Mavericks forum says that this is still being discussed, but will be made clear closer to the time of our closed beta launch. So we don't have anything definite there yet. Now game developers as a whole seem to be moving away from NDAs slowly, and as an example, EA started closed alpha testing on Battlefield 5 this week without an NDA, much to the delight of that game's community. I hope Automaton choose to do the same with Mavericks. However, if they do have an NDA, it will be for good reasons and something we'll just have to live with. The last topic for this video is about monetization. The updates about this and information on the website and forum have been a bit ambiguous so far, and I'm guessing that the developers haven't fully fleshed out exactly how it will work. Firstly and foremostly though, the game is free to play, which is probably the single most common question that people ask about Mavericks. There will be a subscription aspect to the game, and this is known as citizenship. As outlined in the Mavericks forum, citizenship grants you unrestricted access to the economy of Mavericks, providing the foundations to engage in trades and customizations. Using the world's currency, known as bits, you can buy, sell, and trade everything from clothing to weapons and attachments. Although gameplay items cannot be brought into the Battle Royale games of the Proving Grounds, they're a vital component of the persistent open world and various special events. Citizenship's 5 key features are 1. Removal of all purchase restrictions, so you can buy whatever is available to buy. 2. The ability to sell and trade items with other players. Now, Automaton have provided some slightly confusing extra details around this, saying items acquired through progression and as rewards for achievements will not be tradable. However, items such as clothing and skins will be tradable. And this is somewhat confusing because it's not made clear what items other than clothing and skins can be acquired through progression and as rewards for achievements. Also, just to clarify how money will work within the game, there are 2 types of currency: bits and capital credits. Bits are an in-game currency earned through rewards, progression, and from the sale of items within the game, but they are not linked to real-world money in any way. Capital credits, however, can be bought from the store with real-world money and used to purchase different items or skins. Items obtained through the game will be tradable for bits through an in-game auction house, and items obtained with capital credits will be tradable for capital credits, which presumably can be then cashed out for real-world money if that's what you want to do. Now, items bought for money will be purely cosmetic items and will provide no advantage to players in-game. So, as you would expect, there is no pay to win. It also looks like no items will be part of the Steam marketplace. Hopefully, which items fall into which category will be more clearly spelled out in the not too distant future, as monetization is such a touchy subject at the moment, and the community really needs to be clearly informed about that by Automaton, so there is no doubt amongst the players whatsoever. 3. Citizenship will provide you the capability to wield and equip weapons and gear throughout the social hub, so that you can look slick as you wander around the capital's cobblestone alleyways. 4. Unlocked titles can be equipped and visualized in the social hub. Now, this is something we don't know much about yet, but presumably by titles, Automaton means some sort of visual indication of your progression status overall. How this is going to be displayed isn't known, but I'm excited at the idea of being able to recognize players that are high ranking as you wander around Capital Island. 5. Drone customization and progression. Now, according to the Mavericks website, as you dominate and develop your in-game wealth, you'll accrue items, equipment, and in-game economy or bits. However, an extraction process is required before these can be ultimately banked. Extraction begins with the player initiating the preparation stage, which will allow for items and currency to be input. Uploading will then ensue, taking the items and currency stored and converting them into data, permitting them to be uploaded and extracted. Now, during the upload process, your drone will hover overhead as data is collected. The drone and its upload progress will be visible to nearby players and can be compromised, so you have to be sure to protect it. Once upload completes, all inputted value is secured in the owner's bank, and the player and party are permitted a secondary function of safe relocation to the capital through extraction. So we're going to see drones being a key feature of gameplay after all, and being able to customize your drone is pretty cool. Now, will you go for the hot rod flames down the side or the black lights and sub-bass sound system on your drone? Okay, that wraps up this episode of Mavericks News. The devs have mentioned that there will be a new Making Mavericks video coming out soon, with the next one being about characters. So keep an eye out for that, and I'll be sure to give you my full in-depth analysis of it. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, or a dislike if you didn't. And if you want to support this channel, please consider subscribing and sharing it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.